Hi guys, so today's video is about rationalising denominators. So you should recall that if we have a fraction, a of b for example, that the top part is the numerator and the bottom part is the denominator. Now whenever we work with fractions, being able to have a denominator that's the same makes all of our work much easier. It also helps if we have a whole number there, and this is the part that we're going to be looking at, is how we can get rid of surds that are our denominator. To do that, we do a process that's called rationalising, thus rationalising the denominator. And to rationalise, what we do is we multiply our fraction, a over the square root of b for example, by that surd equal to 1. So if we multiply the top by the square root of b and the bottom by the square root of b, we are only multiplying our fraction by 1, which means we're not changing the fraction itself, but we are removing the surd from the bottom. Okay, so let's have a look at the rule for doing this. So the rule for rationalising the denominator is multiplying our fraction by the surd that is the denominator as a numerator and denominator, or the value of 1. So the square root of y over the square root of y for this example, which would then give us x times the square root of y divided by y, because remember, when you multiply any of the same surds together, then we get the value that is beneath the surd. Alright, let's have a look at an example. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to write our fraction. So we have 8 over the square root of 2. Then we are going to multiply our fraction. So we're going to multiply our fraction by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2, as that's the surd that we want to rationalise. So we have 8 over the square root of 2 multiplied by the square root of 2 over the square root of 2, which is going to equal 8 square root 2 over 2. Now we can simplify this further. To simplify that further, what we need to do is we have 8 square root 2 over 2, and 8 divided by 2 is equal to 4, so we end up with 4 square root 2. Okay guys, so that's the first example. For our second example, we're going to simplify the following. So we have 3 over the square root of 7 plus 1 over the square root of 2. So for example 2, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to rationalise each of our denominators. So we're going to do the first one, 3 over the square root of 7, which is going to be times by the square root of 7 over the square root of 7, which equals 3 over the square root of 7 over 7. And our second one is 1 over the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 over the square root of 2, which is equal to the square root of 2 over 2. Now once we've done that, we're going to add our fractions. So we then have 3 square root 7 over 7 plus square root of 2 over 2. Now you should recall that to add fractions you do need to have the same denominators. So we're going to do 7 multiplied by all of this and 2 multiplied by all of this. So that gives us 2 times 3 square root 7 over 7 times 2, which is 14. And that's going to give us 7 square root 2 over 14, which then means that we now have equal denominators, so we can add them. So we do have 6, 7 plus 7 square root 2 over 14. Okay, now we can't simplify that any further because we have 2 different surds. Okay guys, that's how we simplify our fractions when we have addition and we have surds as our denominator. Thanks.